Have you ever had one of those mornings where you make a decision within the first 5 minutes of waking up that completely derails the rest of your day? You know, the kind of impulse choice that seems fun in the moment but carries immediate visceral consequences?
Oh, absolutely. It's that classic battle between the present self who wants immediate gratification and the future self who has to deal with the cleanup. It's a universal human experience, isn't it?
It really is. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We are looking at a series of interconnected narratives that, on the surface, appear to be simple English language learning scenarios, daily routines, doctor visits, gym sessions. But when you peel back the layers, what we're actually looking at is a profound case study in lifestyle redesign, resilience, and the psychology of starting over.
That is such a great way to frame it. We often dismiss these daily routine stories as mundane or just functional language practice. But if you look closely at the source material we're analyzing today, specifically the journey of two characters, let's call them the protagonist and the mentor, we see a complete arc of crisis, intervention, struggle, and eventual adaptation. It's the hero's journey, but instead of fighting dragons, they're fighting fried chicken and heavy gym weights.
Exactly. Let's start with the inciting incident. It's hilarious but also painfully relatable. The story opens with a decision to eat fried chicken and drink Coke for breakfast.
The fried chicken morning. It sounds like a comedy sketch, doesn't it? But think about the psychology there. It represents pure, unchecked impulse. The character wakes up, smells the food, and logic goes out the window. It smells so good, let's just do it. But the narrative immediately introduces the concept of cause and effect. The immediate consequence isn't just guilt, it's physical pain. A stomachache, dizziness, a trip to the hospital.
It's a brutal wake-up call. And what I found interesting is the doctor's role here. The medical advice isn't complex surgery. It's a lifestyle indictment. You need to change everything. That is a heavy sentence to hear?
It is, and that's the pivot point. This is where the story shifts from a situational comedy to a transformation narrative. The doctor prescribes the basics: rest, water, light exercise. But the character's reaction is what matters. She feels lost. She admits, "I always fail when I try new things." That vulnerability is key. How many people stop trying to improve their health or learn a new language because they are terrified of that cycle of failure?
That's the fixed mindset versus growth mindset right there. She believes she is destined to fail. But this is where the second character, the mentor figure, her roommate, steps in. The dynamic changes from enabling the bad behavior, remember, she shared the chicken, to co-piloting the recovery. She says, "You don't have to do it alone."
That social support aspect is crucial. Data consistently shows that habit formation is significantly more successful when you have an accountability partner. They decide to start small, and I love the emphasis on small. They don't sign up for a marathon, they decide to just eat a healthy lunch and do light exercise. It's the concept of atomic habits, making 1% changes rather than trying to overhaul your life overnight.
Speaking of exercise, let's talk about the gym scene. This was another moment that felt incredibly real. They walk into this big, busy gym, and the immediate feeling is intimidation. Everyone looks strong. Everyone knows what they're doing. And what does our protagonist do? She grabs a weight that is way too heavy.
It's the classic beginner's trap. Whether it's lifting weights or learning English, we try to perform at an advanced level on day one. She hurts her arm immediately. It's a perfect metaphor. If you try to lift the heavy linguistic weights, complicated grammar, academic texts, before you've mastered the basics, you're going to get hurt and quit. The advice she gets is gold. Start smaller. Breathe in, breathe out.
It's about checking the ego at the door, isn't it? And once she accepts the lighter weight, she realizes, oh, this isn't so scary. It's manageable.
Precisely. Competence creates confidence, not the other way around. You have to do the small things successfully to feel ready for the medium thing.
Now, moving through the narrative, they manage to get through the gym and the healthy lunch, which, by the way, they admit isn't as tasty as fried chicken, which I appreciate for its honesty. But then we hit the afternoon walk. This scene felt different. It wasn't about physical exertion, it seemed more about mental state.
Yes, the pacing slows down there. They are in the park observing other people. It touches on the mental health benefits of simply being outdoors. They mention the fresh air and how walking helps the mind relax. In our hyperproductive society, we often view exercise as punishment or a chore. This scene reframes movement as therapy. It's a reward, not a penalty.
That's a beautiful distinction. But of course, life isn't a montage of perfect progress. The narrative takes a turn into what I'd call the bad day. We jump to a different scenario where everything goes wrong. Burnt eggs, almost starting a fire, rain, forgetting an umbrella, being late. It's a cascade of small disasters.
This is the stress test. It's easy to be healthy and positive when the sun is shining and you're walking in the park. But who are you when you've burned breakfast and you're running on empty? The dialogue here highlights the fragility of our routines. One late night ruins the next morning. It shows the interconnectedness of our choices.
And the emotional toll is real. The character feels overwhelmed, almost to the point of tears. Today is not my day. But the intervention here is fascinating. Her friend doesn't try to fix the problems. She can't unburn the eggs. Instead, she offers perspective. She says, "You can't stop bad things from happening, but you can choose how you react."
Stoicism 101. It's the dichotomy of control. The external world, the rain, the traffic, the burnt food, is chaos. The internal world is the only fortress we have. And notice the solution offered? It wasn't a lecture, it was comfort. I'll do the dishes, you watch Netflix, here's some ice cream.
Wait, ice cream? I thought we were on a healthy diet.
Laughs. That's the nuance. Resilience isn't about rigid perfection. Sometimes, the healthy choice for your mental sanity is a bowl of strawberry ice cream and a supportive friend. If you are too rigid, you snap. They allow themselves a moment of comfort so they can reset for tomorrow. That is sustainable living.
That's a really important point. It prevents that all or nothing thinking where one mistake leads to quitting entirely.
Exactly. And we see the result of that support system later. They have a face mask moment at bedtime. The stress is gone. They reset. The protagonist admits, "You helped me feel better." It reinforces that human connection is the ultimate buffer against stress.
There are a few other interactions in this narrative that I think are worth highlighting because they show a different side of daily life, the professional and social navigation. For instance, the hotel booking call.
Oh, the cancellation fee scene. That was painful to listen to, but very realistic.
Right? She tries to change her dates. The receptionist is polite but firm. That will be a $50 change fee, plus a cancellation fee, plus the rate difference. And her reaction? She accepts it. No problem.
It's a lesson in adulting. It's about taking responsibility. She had a change of plans. The world has a cost for that. She didn't argue. She didn't get angry at the receptionist who was just doing his job. It's a subtle display of social intelligence, and frankly, navigating those bureaucratic conversations, hotels, banks, offices, is a huge part of language mastery. It's not just about vocabulary, it's about tone, politeness, and negotiation.
And that politeness extends to the neighbor scene, too, helping Mrs. Thompson with the garbage bins. It's a tiny moment, barely 30 seconds of dialogue, but it paints a picture of community.
It does. It moves the focus from self, my gym, my diet, my job, to others. Helping a neighbor is a low-effort, high-reward social transaction. It builds social capital. And notice the language used? I'd be happy to help. You're a sweetheart. It's the glue that holds neighborhoods together. If you are learning a language, these are the scripts that actually endear you to people.
So, looking at this holistic picture, from the physical struggle of the gym, to the mental struggle of a bad day, to the social grace of helping a neighbor, what is the overarching lesson here for our listeners?
I think the core message is that transformation is messy but manageable. Whether you are trying to learn English, get fit, or just become a more organized person, you will have the fried chicken mornings. You will have the days where you burn the eggs. The goal isn't to eliminate these errors. The goal is to shorten the recovery time.
Shorten the recovery time. I like that.
Yes, instead of spiraling for a week, you spiral for an hour. You talk to a friend, you eat the ice cream, you put on a face mask, and you try again tomorrow. The narrative ends with a family dinner, chicken and rice, homemade. It feels grounded. It feels like they've reached a baseline of stability.
It's a return to comfort, but a healthy comfort. Not the chaotic comfort of the fast food breakfast, but the nourishing comfort of a family meal.
Precisely. And for the language learners listening to this, realize that the characters in this story are using simple language to navigate complex emotions. You don't need C2 level vocabulary to express empathy, frustration, or gratitude. You just need to be present and genuine.
That is such a liberating thought. You can have deep connections with simple words.
Absolutely. The depth comes from the intent, not the syllable count.
We're coming to the end of our time, but I want to leave the listeners with a question based on what we discussed. We talked about the fried chicken morning, that moment of impulse that sabotages you. What is your version of that? And more importantly, who is your Molly? Who is the person who helps you put the weights down when they are too heavy?
That's the question to ask, because as we saw, you can't really do it alone, and you shouldn't have to.
Well said. It's been a fascinating journey through the everyday. It turns out the daily routine isn't so routine after all. It's where the real drama of life happens.
It really is. Thanks for having this discussion.
And thank you all for listening. Until next time, keep watching out for those burnt eggs and don't be afraid to ask for help with the heavy lifting.
Goodbye, everyone.